It's nice to be a part of the decline of American journalism.
Forgive me if my voice sounds crazy or if I sound a little bit more delusional than usual. I'm sick right now. But we have this update coming later today, and it's going to be a big one. Now, this will be the first update, the first change to the game since Heihachi's release. We know what happened with that update. It was utter chaos. Heihachi, he's a pretty decent character talking about complexity and whatnot. Me personally, I don't like how much he was changed from Tekken 7 Heihachi. That's kind of a trend so far with a lot of the DLC characters. They're losing their identity. But in terms of power, a lot of people put him in A tier. I think he's definitely in that S range. But then when you talk about the other things with that update, of course, the stage controversy followed by the Chinese player controversy. It was a lot of controversy in the update before, right? And something that people were also just generally frustrated about is the lack of nerfing of characters. And that's what's going to be done with this update. This update will be a good opportunity for them to do incredible things, right? First, let's talk about the shop and the monetization because that's a big thing that Tekken is going through. Last time they added a bunch of Halloween skins. You can see them here. You have these two for the males and then those two for the females. Very popular skins. They also added Eddie's Tekken 3 skin into the game, I believe last week or maybe the week before. And then, of course, Heihachi, and then the Battle Pass. Some people still dislike the Battle Pass. I think they're improving over time, but I would still like to see a little bit more put into them. If you pop over to like a Call of Duty or a Fortnite, you have multiple different skins in the Battle Pass. For Fortnite, you have like 10. Tekken, you only have like a couple of real customization items. So that's something I would like to see them improve, right? But what we do know about this update is that they will be adding some more skins to the update, considering that this update will take place a couple of days before or like a day before Halloween, maybe on Halloween, depending on where you are. We don't know if they'll add more Halloween themed skins or if they'll just do something totally different. We have no clue. I'll make a follow-up video. I'm sure the stuff will be data mined from the game, and then we can look at the new skins. The final thing that I will say about the shop is in this update as well is when the developers will give us the 500 free coins as an apology for all of the chaos that's been going on with the stage controversy. So look forward to that. I would suggest you spend the coins on the battle pass if you haven't already, because if you complete the battle pass, you get your coins back and then you can reinvest it, right? It's a way better purchase than going after one specific outfit. But that's my advice. Do what you want. Now, when you really dig into the meat of what this update will be, you got to look at the balance adjustments. Players were very disappointed because, you know, you had characters like Dragunov, Alyssa, Yoshi, King, Jin, Shahid, Nina. There's a lot of characters in this game who are very overtuned, and you could just talk about the heat system as well. There's a lot of things that players want to see the developers tackle, and a lot of people feel like they've been letting it go unchecked. But with this update here, they're definitely going to hit at least Dragunov and Alyssa. There's a little bit more. We'll look back at the patch notes that they gave us for the past update. I like what they do. In the current update, they talk about what they're doing, but then they also talk about what they want to do in the future, right? So we can always look back to the previous update and get a kind of an idea of what they're going to do. So the highlighted section says, in upcoming version 1.09 update, we are considering adjustments that will affect the behaviors of certain characters, such as Dragunov and Alyssa, including changes to the tracking performance of their attacks and the reaction of opponents when hit. Now, this is a pretty massive thing, right? Most of the updates we've seen them do, I want to say from about like July until now, has been very insignificant, like small. Like they'll do like a damage nerf here, they'll do like a couple of frames here. The most drastic overhaul in recent memory was probably like what they did to Raven, but largely characters has been not touched at all. Lydia, Heihachi, well, Heihachi just came out, Dragunov, Yoshi, etc. With them saying that they want to hit the tracking of you know, Dragunov and Alyssa, other characters may be included. That is a massive thing because, you know, all over Twitter, you see how people were complaining about Dragon. I don't know the input, but it's the mid kick that has a high, and it also has like a different string follow up as well. That move is just so aggressive. You have no options. The tracking on it is so crazy. I remember Nee was also tweeting about it probably like 3 weeks back, right? So tracking, and really you could say as a whole in Tekken 8 is pretty ridiculous, and I hope that they reduce it like across the board. There's way too many strings, follow-up attacks, counter hit attacks that just tracks, and I would really like to see it scaled down a little bit, me personally. But then the other thing that they highlight is the opponent's reaction when they are hit. And this is a pretty interesting thing as well, because if you really pay attention to Tekken 8, there's a lot of situations where the characters will hit you and you will fall to the ground, but the way that you fall is your head will be towards them, will be closest to them, and you will be faced up. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but is that not the worst way to be laying on the ground? There may be another way that's worse, but in my opinion, I think that's the worst way to lay on the ground. And the fact that the game, when you get knocked down, puts you in that position so frequently is very frustrating. And I think that's why there's so many attacks that's guaranteed, so many attack that's so much Oki that's very hard to stop. It's just situations like that where when you get knocked down or when you get hit on the ground, your body gets moved a certain way, and that's what allows for all of this madness to unfold, in my personal opinion. So when I hear the developers say that the reaction of the opponent when hit will be changed, it's an amazing thing. Of course, we have no specific idea what they're talking about. Like I was talking about grounded attacks and Oki, they could be just talking about like standing up, like plus frames. Maybe you'll be closer to Dragunov when he does this or that. Alyssa, you can also talk about her. We really don't put that much attention on other characters. We always talk about Dragunov and Yoshi, but Alyssa is a monster, right? When she activates heat, her chainsaws, you really have no options at all. So I would like to see how they go about nerfing her. But also, I want it to be fair. The player base has a tendency to really push and get the character over nerfed to where the character just ceases to exist, or the character is so hard to use and the people who do use them just complain for endlessly, right? Look at what they did to Dragunov, right? Dragunov was, or not Dragunov, Deviljin. Deviljin was pretty powerful at the start of the game. Twitter got him nerfed, and you can argue over nerfed, and the Dragon and the Deviljin mains has just been suffering ever since. So I would like to see some fair, meaningful, and necessary nerfs hit Dragunov. Something you also got to keep in mind is this probably will be the final balance update before the Tekken World Tour Finals, the LCQ, and the regional finals, right? So this is a big moment for them to really like impact the game. And I know they were kind of hesitant before because they really wanted to save some of the big changes for the future, right? You talk about season 2, but I do think now that the majority of the tournaments for the Tekken World Tour has stopped, maybe this is a good opportunity for them to really get the ball going. I know everyone is also looking forward to the final character. Who will it be? Will it be Fakaram? Will it be a guest character? And also, when will it be shown? Will it be shown, kind of soon? Will we have to wait all the way until December? Will we get something kind of in November? We currently still have no information. As soon as we get information, I will make a follow-up video on the patch notes, on the characters, on the shop, on everything.